One of the most defining things about me as a person is how I process the things I go through. Today, I want to talk about it. Let's go.
Like diamonds, I'm watching how you glow.
What's up, everybody? It's your boy AJ here, coming through your TV screen, your phone screen, your laptop screen, and beyond. How you doing, mate? I want to walk you through something here, so follow with me. I've said in a previous video, I was sexually abused as a child. That being understood, processing that type of thing as a child can be very, very daunting. It can be very difficult. It can be, yes, stressful for a child. Didn't know that children go through stress? They do. It was one of those things where I didn't understand what was going on. I didn't understand how to convey that lack of understanding to the people around me. And the people around me did not understand me as a person. So there was a lot of different things going around. So at that age, I decided, hey, come up with a strategy how to cope with this. At first, my go-to strategy for processing pain was to suppress it. And let me give you a very brief description of that, because it's not as simple as it sounds. If I tell you the way I processed pain when I was a child, it might sound comical to you, or it might sound like a movie. If you've ever watched those vampire movies and the vampires turn their emotions off, I used to do that in real life, where I suppress the pain I feel, and at the snap of a finger, poof, I'm just numb to the world. I don't feel anything at all. And that was how I dealt with pain for at least 2 decades. So around about 20 years old was when I thought, hey, there has to be a better way to do this. Suppressing your pain, it works in like a containment overflow sort of thing. So you contain it, you suppress it, poof, 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 and then until there's no more room to suppress, it explodes, poof, and then you get a chain reaction. That is the strategy I used as a child. Unorthodox, unthought of, unheard of, but it worked. It worked for a very long time. But there were side effects. It working now created a whole different world in my world that I didn't realize. Because I suppressed my pain, when it does overflow, as I previously said, I have to figure out a way how to numb that excessive overflowing, pounding effect of pain. I used to drink a lot. I'm one of those people that can drink an entire bottle and drink it like water. Alcohol was nothing to me. I used to use that to numb the pain. Like just poof, don't feel anything. And then when that overflow period passes, I'll go back to suppressing. And I did this as unhealthy, as unorthodox, as unheard of as this was. It was my strategy. And it was working until it doesn't. And then it works until it doesn't. So, growing older, one of the things I've noticed is the older you get, is the more you come up with ways to making your life simpler. Simplify it. And how I did that was actually to face it. I did a previous video where I said, in order to be the best version of myself, I had to completely let everything that was weighing me down go without any type of closure. That was the best decision I've made, even though it was the most painful. So yes, my ways of processing pain was unorthodox, and it was not healthy, to say the least, but it got me through. I got older, I got wiser. Now here we are. There is one of the reasons I don't judge is because I know how much of an imperfect person I am. And one of the things I wish for people, why I do these things, like talking head videos, talking to you, conversating, is I actually don't wish anything that I've been through on anybody. My pain, I'm not gonna pretend like it's the greatest pain in the world, but you'd run away from me if I gave you my shoes to walk in. Because some of the things I've experienced as a person, it is literally insane that I'm mustering up the strength to even be on a camera speaking to you. That's not being over dramatic or melodramatic or any of those things. I kid you not. I've been through a lot as a person. I've learned to just accept this world and accept things for what and who they are. A part of that comes from, when I say a part, I mean the whole suppressing thing. When my father passed away, there was a part of me that was just gone. And what bothered me about my father passing was that it was because of his absence why so many of these things happened. Because you now put my mother in a very unique situation of being mother and father. My mother was working 3 jobs, trying to get us by. Raising 3 kids on your own in a third world country can be very daunting. So my mother was very occupied. I had to do most of the raising of me. I became street smart, and I surrounded myself with a lot of older folks who knew more than I did, and I would learn from their mistakes. I would watch them go through stuff. I was like, and that's how I came up with my own strategy. Don't get me wrong, my mother was being my mother. She was my mother when she could have been. But for the times when she couldn't, and she had to go out there and be the man and the woman in the house, I'm now left in a position where I have to pull my weight and raise myself. That is harsh to say. And that is a cruel situation to be in. But that's one of my mechanisms of coping throughout all these years. Then there comes the part where I was suicidal. My ways of coping with pain throughout the years have grown and it's evolved. But why I love the version of myself that I am now is because my process is simplified. Things hurt me. Things will always hurt all of us. How we process that pain. Nowadays, I just expect things. I'm never the guy you can catch off guard. Oh my God, I didn't think you would be the person that do that to me. I would be the guy that goes, took you long enough. Nothing surprises me anymore because I've come to understand that you need to expect the unexpected. Predict the unpredictable. See things before they happen. Know the contents of people's personalities, so you know what to expect. You know what's coming your way. You know how to deal with it when it comes. You know how to process it. And that's basically me now. Like, I go through life like, hey, it's a part of the process. There's nothing you can do about it. Pain is something that is unavoidable. How you process it will define you, though. It will be a defining factor of how you live your life and how you function as a person. So, if you're anything like me, and you have all of those things going for you, step outside of the circle. Assess your pain for what it is. Accept it for what it is. Let it go. And create a space that is more accepting of reality. Because life will never be exactly what we want it to. I used to beat myself up all the time trying to figure out why me. I indulge in self-abuse. I've said this in a previous video. Yes, I indulged in self-abuse. I inflicted pain upon myself for the sake of coping with my pain. For the sake of trying to forget my pain. For the sake of trying to not constantly be haunted and think about my pain. But you grow older, and I'm almost 30 years old in a few months, and I'm just, my perspective on life has just changed. Like, I realize how far you can be weighed down by not letting things go. And that I know I appreciate that scenario for what it is. And I encourage you to do the same. You might not be able to do it right away, but make the attempt. Let it go. There is this saying because I grew up in a church, and there is this saying that they used to say all the time when I was growing up as a child: let go and let God. Right. So with that being understood, going through that phase will build you as a person. And I just wanted to share with you all the different things that I used to do. Yes, my coping mechanism as a child to deal with pain was unorthodox. But as a child at the time, it worked. Growing up now as an adult, I see that that's not for me, no. So I have a new strategy. And it will be the same thing for you. If you're anything like me and you go through all those different things, you're going to have to change your strategy over time if you want to simplify your process. I don't understand how you feel. I probably never will, because to each his own, and everyone interprets what they go through differently. So, with that being said, with that being understood, it's your boy AJ, and I'm signing out.